What's going on, guys? It's your boy Gorm for Wins coming at you with episode 4 of our Journeyman Career Mode. Man, in the last episode, we absolutely got destroyed by the Portland Timbers. I mean, it wasn't even close. It made it so much where we even conceded defeat. But whatever, it is what it is. We move on to the next match, and luckily for us, we are going to be jumping into the U.S. Open Cup, which is our League Cup, against Real Salt Lake, which is, I don't really know any players that they have on their team other than Kyle Beckerman, but he's not even in the squad. So I don't really know too much about Real Salt Lake. I know they're not that good. For the most part, but yeah, this is gonna be our lineup. It's not gonna go and change. I'm gonna put out the strongest lineup. If you can see, Kenneth Phillips is gonna be on the bench today. Because again, he got promoted in the last episode. Because we really need somebody in the midfield that's gonna definitely help us and push us forward and get us through. So looking forward to this match. Our objective is to try to just push as far as we can get to. If we can win the cup, that'd be fantastic. That's probably the nice thing that we want to do, is if we can get the cup, and then if we can also obviously qualify for the playoffs. So that's our biggest thing here. So we're going to jump right into the action here, taking on Real Salt Lake, which again, on paper, I would think, and favor that we should be able to take care of business here, no problem. So this is also going to be the episode where we're going to be playing 4 games. So I'm going to be playing 2 of them. I'm going to simulate one of them, and then I'm going to fast simulate. I don't even know what you would call it. Simulate the 4th game as well. So, and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit as this video goes on. Again, me personally, I'm not really a sim player in terms of I don't like simming my games. I like as Troy Deeney takes a nice little through ball here right off the bat, as he goes in to score here. Oh, perfect, man. This is what we needed. It's about time we finally got to score first. So Troy Deeney's going to help us and get us in the lead in the 6th minute, taking off with basically a nice 1v1 with the goalie, and we're going to be leading 1-0. But like I said, going back to my original point, I don't really like simming my games. I like playing every single game that's in front of us, because it lets me, as Contero's going to do his nice little shimmy move again to see if he can't make it. Unfortunately, he's not going to score this time around, but it seems to always be working for him. So we're going to keep doing it as long as the computer allows us to run through that hole. We're going to run through it, But yeah, simming games, like I said, I like to play them all. Pretty much that's all I really wanted to say. I'll sim when I have to, especially when the score lines are ridiculous, like the last game, or if I'm even beating the computer like that. Those are probably the kind of games where I'll sim to the end of the result. As we get a nice through ball here, man, and look at this, we are on fire. 2-0 in 23 minutes. It's finally, man, this is the kind of game that we needed. We're up and down, up and down, up and down, but these are the kind of games where I feel if we can just keep going and keep our foot on the gas and just keep scoring, try to play at least comparable defense. It doesn't have to be, beautiful defense, because obviously, we're not doing well on that side of the ball. But, if we can just kind of just keep it, a little bit, we should be all right. We should have a successful campaign. So as we're going to get a nice through ball here again, we're going to unfortunately not score here. But again, we are ripping Real apart. They're not, like I said, they're not really a good team on paper. Again, I don't really know of any big stars that they have on their squad. Again, other than Kyle Beckerman, but he's not even in the starting lineup. So whatever. But I'm just happy. I'm happy that we are up 2-0, and we're controlling the game really well, moving the ball around really well. The defense is playing, as best as they can, or as best as the computer is going to allow us to do. But this is why I like playing all my games, because I like human error. As look at this, see, this is human error, and luckily they don't score on that possession as we get the ball up here, and they do unfortunately end up scoring. But this is why I like playing all my games, because again, it's human error that's gonna, give me the breaks like that. And not to say the computer versus computer is not going to, but you can't really predict what's gonna happen on that end. So at this point, we are gonna make a switch. I am gonna give Mr. Kenneth Phillips his debut, as he, looks fine and dandy running onto the field. Mr. number 44. Really looking forward to playing with him. He's got potential to be special, which means, his overall is probably going to be in the high 90s. So, if it were up to me, I'm gonna try to take him with me to every single club that I get to. But at the same time, if I can't, we're obviously going to follow his career. But every team that I go to, I want to try to take him with us and, pretty much run his career. And I'm glad that he's an American, so he'll play on the U.S. national team with Pulisic. So that's going to be a formidable team too. If it were up to me, as he gets the ball here, a nice vision to pass to Quintero. We get a nice swing ball in. Unfortunately, nothing comes from it, but we still keep the ball in their side of the half. Looking really good. And Salazar with a nice ball here. Ooh, nice shot. Unfortunately, does not get through. But, it's good. We're on the attack, and like I said, even though it's 2-1, it's a good 2-1 win. We gave up the goal, unfortunately under my errors, but, I'm still glad that we're here. We're doing well. The team's still playing really well. The defense is still pretty solid. And so that's going to be all she wrote. We are going to win the game 2-1. We are definitely going to be moving on to the cup. I'm so happy that, we move on. This is what we need. We're going to go as far as we can in the cup to try to see if we can't win it. That's probably the one thing that I want to do. So these are the results of the other games if you want to pause and kind of look and see. I don't know when the draw takes place to move on to the next round, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So obviously we're going to do a nice little interview. They're talking about and saying, congratulations on moving on to the next round. I thought the boys played really well. Obviously Kenneth Phillips got his debut too. I thought he played really well in the couple minutes that he got at the end of the game. He's going to be a very big piece in the team, if not the entire team, and build around him. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays out, so we're going to be jumping into our second game. This is the other game that I wanted to play. I didn't want to sim this one. We are going to be playing against Higuain and Inter Miami. Like, man, this is, kudos to David Beckham to being able to put this team together. I know it took a little while. It was a long process, but kudos to him to being able to put this team together and him being able to sign Gonzalo Higuain and Matuidi and Oloya and Pizarro, Pellegrini. I think Higuain's brother's on here. Federico's on here as well. So, like, Inter Miami is a squad, man. Like, they're a really good team, So we're going to jump in here and going to jump right into the 15th minute because not too much happened in the first 15 minutes of the game. For the most part, it was really just a lot of back and forth, cherry picking. No team was really holding on possession. So, as you can see here, again, Higuain with the ball, he's going to do, obviously, he's so good, and the fact that, like, 12 months ago, he was just at Juventus, him and Matuidi, because I think Matuidi was at Juventus as well. Just the fact that they were both at Juventus playing with Ronaldo and Dybala and all those guys, and then just to come to MLS, like, that's got to be a super culture shock for them, to be playing in these couple games, especially during this COVID crisis. They're not really playing and seeing the MLS at its full and brightest potential. They got to kind of see a watered down version of it because obviously where nobody's playing. So again, they're so good. That's the one thing too. At least in real life, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to gel. Obviously everything that's going on. But in a video game, look, Rodolfo Pizarro, Higuain, Matuidi, that's a squad that, anybody can pretty much kill for. And they're pretty much really going to dominate us all game. They really had, I don't know what it was, but it was like at this point in the game where they pretty much took over possession. Look at this. It was easy for them. They made it look too easy, took advantage of our weak defense. There's really nothing that we can do. We go down 2-0 in the 27th minute. Very unfortunate. Not very happy with the result there. So, we're still going to try to fight hard and see if we can't come through with the result or at least get a goal, because there's no reason for us to quit now, because, again, I'm not the kind of guy that just quits just because I'm losing or anything like that. It only becomes when the game starts to get out of hand. But as we can see here, Phillips does get the start. I decided to start him, and he's playing really well as well. He does get a shot off there. Unfortunately, he doesn't go through, but he does get a shot off. He does force the turnover, so good for him. He gets the ball here as well. I think he's gonna be phenomenal, man. He's gonna be, man, to watch his career grow. He's gonna be really good. As he's gonna get a pass here, and he's gonna get a shot off again, but unfortunately, He's gonna get blocked by the keeper, and heck of a save by the goalie. Especially at that close and that distance and the power that was at him. Really good for him. So Phillips, got a nice shot there, showing some really, really good promise. He's gonna be, again, like I said, a phenomenal player. There's really nothing I can say. So that's gonna be the end of the first half. Unfortunately, we are gonna go down 2-0, and really nothing we could do. We're gonna make a couple changes here, kind of bring some guys on, because I felt like, for the most part, the game, I wouldn't say is over, but just kind of getting some fresh bodies in the midfield to kind of help us out. So we're gonna jump into the 60th minute, where Higuain does get subbed off for Juan Higuadello, who is also an American national. He's gonna play a big role right here. As soon as he gets the ball and touches the ball, he's a really quick kid. He's a really good guy. I know he did feature, again, as we get scored on 3-0. Unfortunately, it's in the 61st minute. There's really nothing we could do. And again, Pizarro, that Inter Miami is gonna be a formidable team to face off against, especially in the playoffs, where there's no home or away legs or anything like that. It's strictly mano y mano. Your best against my best. So we're gonna jump into the 83rd minute here. Again, like I said, Inter Miami's pretty much held on to the game for the most part. We are gonna try to catch a last ditch break here and see if we can't get something from it. Ramirez is gonna finally catch a nice little break, and at least we get a goal. We take away their clean sheet, which at least for us, it doesn't really do anything for anybody for the most part. We still end up losing the match, but at least the boys fought hard to the end, which is all you can ask for in every single game, regardless of the scoreline. Is at least you try your best, you do what you can, and you move on to the next game. So unfortunate here, we didn't get the win in the league, but at least we moved on in the cup, which is, we should be happy about that. I know I am as a coach. The boys should be happy about that. And we're just gonna try to fight hard and see if we can't try to at least get a second one. Why not? Maybe 2, maybe 3. It is the game of soccer. It can happen at any given time. As you can see here, they almost get a goal themselves to kind of go out 4-1. And then luckily for us, nothing does happen. And we're going to take it here. We're going to just kind of take it out from the back and see if we can't just kind of move it up forward as much as we can before the end of the whistle. So give up the ball cheaply there. And like I said, that is going to be the end of the game. We do end up losing 3-1, but whatever, it is what it is. So jumping into our scouting reports, this is our American scout with our scout with the United States kids. Nobody here of note for the most part. All their potentials are pretty bad. 63, 84, and 74. None of those guys are going to see the light of day. I just keep both of these guys here just to kind of further on scout them. Next scouting report, again, is just going to be from Mexico. So kind of the same thing here. Nobody really stood out for me that looked too good. I mean, I guess Simon Serrano looked good, so I brought him up. Lucas didn't look good. Nobody, 86 overall. Nobody good. Just kind of keeping them there again just to see what we can do. And this is the point where I was doing the simming, and like I said, me personally, I would just much rather play the game. As we're gonna sit here and do a pre-game interview, but again, like I said, for the most part, I'd rather just play the game. It's a lot funner for me to play through the game. Experience those moments where even if I am probably the better player on the game itself, if the computer beats me, the computer beats me. I enjoy having to fight for my place and having to fight for first place, and again, not leaving it up to the computer to kind of sim for me. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there who do simming, and I'm not against it or anything like that. I'm just saying, and it may take longer, but I'm just saying, for me personally, like this game here, I would much rather play it. And even though we'll more than likely probably would beat Minnesota because they just came into the league, and so their players aren't the best, because even for their team, I don't really know who they have on their team that's worthy in terms of recognition. So this is just a game that I would like to play. So for me personally, I don't think I'm gonna do any more simming. I think how I'm gonna do it is I would just do 3 games per episode. Maybe I'll slide in a 4th one. If I do a sim, I guess I'll take that back. If I do a sim like this, it'll be something that I will jump into in the second half after like the 60th minute. or like the 70th, somewhere around there. Because again, just to play, because it's like I said, I enjoy watching this, and this is cool to watch this and enjoy this feature. But again, like I just rather play and just be in control of the team, be in control of the game. Because I think personally, if you're personally taking control of all the players, you dictate all of their stats. Obviously the computer is always going to do what's best for what the situation is, but again, you're putting computer against computer, and so they kind of cancel each other out. So I just enjoy the unknown of having that human error against the computer, because the computer, on paper should be better than all of us, but whatever. So again, getting back to the game here, us against Minnesota. Minnesota is not that great. It looks like, I kind of should have moved the little ticker around at the bottom to kind of show stats instead of fitness. So again, just kind of getting used to this, because like I said, I'm not really a person who sims games. So I apologize for not moving the little tab at the bottom down to like ratings or settings or stats or to game plan, and just kind of leaving it at fitness. But whatever, it is what it is, and like I said, just going forward, I'll make sure that I move that around, and then like I said, if I do decide to jump in games, it won't be until like after the 60th minute or something like that. But whatever, so that's going to be the end of the first half. It's going to be 0-0. We do have more possession at 55%. I guess I do move it here. Either I moved it or just moved it by itself. So again, this is where I'll kind of leave it here, because it is cool to kind of see the possession ticker move around, the shots and the chances move around too. I think this is a lot better to look at than obviously the fitness, because nobody cares about the fitness bar. As soon as your players get tired, you just sub them out. So looks like a pretty good game here, pretty solid. We're into the 54th minute. Nobody's really, created any too many chances. It's been pretty even. Both teams are 100% chances and shots. But it does look like obviously we have more possession, which I don't know why we wouldn't have any more shots. So looks like for us, we are going to get a goal here for Quintero, which is going to take us a 1-0 lead, which I will take that. I'm not going to say that we wouldn't. Again, I feel like even if I was playing this game, I think Minnesota would have got the business from us anyway. So I am going to make some substitutions here real quick, because I felt like if I don't make substitutions now with the subs or with the sim, I'm never going to get into making any substitutions. And so I just make them now. I'm bringing in Kenneth Phillips again for another game, because I figure why not get him some more reps and some more stats on the field, get them some more chemistry on the team, and just kind of have fun. And so the one thing that I wish they would add into this, which would be pretty cool, would be like a little chemistry bar or something like that. Something that kind of shows that the team has to gel together to just be better. I mean, yeah, it has like the sharpness and the fitness and stuff like that, but they could still, I feel like, go an extra step further. They already do it in Ultimate Team, where I feel like they can just bring over that chemistry, and not necessarily make it obviously because of nations and stuff like that, but just the more that the players play together, I feel like that chemistry bar can go up. And if you bring in a player who isn't necessarily in the first team all the time, it kind of hinders the chemistry just a little bit. But whatever, we'll talk about features and things that I would like to see in career mode, because I have a whole bunch of ideas that I think career mode could be added to this game. But whatever. So again, it looks like the game's almost over. We are doing really well. We're at the 88th minute. We are still leading 1-0. It doesn't look like Minnesota has really done anything. They've had 2 shots the entire game to our 3, and we're doing well. We're gonna get a goal at the end of the match and go 2-0 up, which, there we go. I will take it. So there goes the sim match there, our first one of the season. We are going to win 2-0, take maximum points. So we're going to get 3 points from that, which, that's awesome. I'll take that. Again, I'm not going to complain from winning. So that is going to move us up the table slightly, which, again, I'm happy about that. And then in our 4th and final game, we're going to be taking on Montreal Impact, who is, if you guys didn't know, Montreal Impact is coached by legendary striker Thierry Henry. So they actually did a pretty good season. They did better than I thought they would. Again, like I said, obviously with the COVID situation and it being a little wonky season, I do and can't wait to see how he comes about in this MLS league. So it's going to be good to see him. So we're going to be taking on his team. I'm going to make a couple changes before the game because obviously I figured why not, because we do need to. Guys are pretty tired after playing 4 games in a row back to back. So again, this is another game where I felt like even if we would have played them, I felt like Montreal doesn't really have any good players except for Victor Wanyama. He's like the only player that I know of who's really good on Montreal. I think there's one other player, but I can't think of his name. But for the most part, if I were to play Montreal, I felt like I would have been able to beat them regardless anyway. So when we sim, we are going to see what the result is, but I would imagine and I would hope that when we sim this match that we would win against them, regardless of what team I do put out. I am just obviously making some subs because I do need to get some fresh bodies out there, get some fresh energy out there, because I would imagine obviously the fresher your players are, the easier and the better the game will go for you and your team. So again, we are going to sim here and see what we do get from the result. I do hope we get a win, and fingers crossed, we do get a win. So Darwin is going to score in the 26th minute. We have 61 possession to their 39, so pretty good comfortable win. Again, like I said, even if I would have played them, who knows? I mean, I could have lost both sim games, who knows? But that's what I'm saying. That's why I like the chance of playing against the computer and just kind of going from there. So this is going to be our third scout. This is our world scout, where he went to Spain. Didn't look like he found anybody either, so kind of a wasted trip a little bit, I felt like. And I do think this is his last month there, so he is coming back. And I don't know where I was gonna send him. I felt like, at this point I do need some defenders, and I'm glad that he's back. So in the next episode, you guys are going to see where I send him next to kind of get us some defenders. But we'll see, and we'll go from there. So kind of looking at our players, because I'm looking at these emails, and the emails were telling me that these players that I'm looking at here have reached their maximum potential, which is a little frustrating, because it's like, man, you're 23, 24 years old, and your maximum potential is a 69 overall, and you're done. Like, you can't get any better. I mean, I'm sure they probably could, but again, this is what I'm saying. I'm not going to waste my time with those players. I'd rather just bring in some youth players, as you could see here. So like I said, I was showing you guys here Patrick Tremblay. I'm going to send him out to another country to get us some more scouts on the defensive side of the ball, because that's what we need heavily. I think our other 2 scouts are going to do well by just bringing us whatever they can find, which I like always doing anyway. So looking at the table here, we're going to look at it real quick before we jump out. We are in 6th place. We got 4 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses with a total of 13 points. Sporting Kansas City is at the top of the league with 5 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses with only 16 points. So only a 1 game, win over us before we could take over first place. And then jumping over to the western side, it does look like DC is leading the pack over there with 7 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss. So they're doing well too as well. So again, look at that. Montreal Impact is at the bottom of the list with no wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. So again, that's what I was saying. I felt like even if we would have played them, regardless if it was a sim, we probably would have beat them regardless. But that is going to be the end of this video. In the next episode, we are going to be taking on the LA Galaxy once again very quickly. But again, I appreciate all you guys for everything that we've been doing so far. Looking forward to the series. Next video will be out shortly and soon. Thank you guys for all the support. Please like and subscribe if you guys want to, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for your time, and I'm out.